Alright, Josh here, and welcome to a little team overview, team report of the team I used in the Players Cup 3 last weekend. It's been a while since I uploaded. Again, I apologise. What was it, early November? I really intended to carry on a good recording spree then, but I've just been swamped again. I just haven't had time. But I'll talk about that a bit at the end of the video, I guess. But anyway, I'm going to go over a few teams today that progressively build up into the team I ended up using. So where are we at? Early November, I uploaded a couple of videos actually with this team, didn't I? Weakness Policy, Glastria, this Speed Swap, Raichu, and yeah, Katana, yeah. So I used this team for probably not very long really, only like a week or so, max. Probably like a week. And then I ended up using this for a while. Weakness Policy Metagross was really common at that point. And I liked this team, to be fair. It was good. It was quite nice using Entei for a bit. Finny's always good. I knew that. I don't think did I use Finny on the other team? Yeah, I don't think I've not used Finny in this series. It's just so good. I never used Switcheroo Women's Cup before. That was quite fun. Anyway, that team again. I probably only used it for a week, and then I came up with this. Was it this one? Yeah, right. This one. This is where it starts. This is where we get into it. This team I used for ages, probably from like early November to about Christmas time, probably. So near enough a month, I know, probably like 4 or 5 weeks worth of using this team. It was kind of based on something Wolf had. I can't remember what it was. Was it Weakness Policy? Moltres, I think that's where I got the idea from. Anyway, I did change it a little bit. I know that. I can't remember exactly the team he was using, but I'm pretty sure this is the same spread he used on his Regieleki, except for I may have speed crept a little bit by a couple of points. I can't remember. I might have done that, but this Regieleki, it's just so good. It's just so good. I've never really used screens that much before, but screens are just absolutely insane. Like, I'd never bothered with them. I don't know why, but they one Regieleki, I just think, hair in my mouth. They're just perfect. It's so good. It's so fast. You get them up. Electrobe's amazing. Thunderbolt just for some damage, and it still does a lot of damage. Thunderbolt because of the transistor ability. Anyway, I've used this. I haven't really changed Regieleki. I did try Choice Specs for a bit, but I kept coming back to this. This is just solid. And on to Moltres. I'm pretty sure again I used Wolf Spreader. Maybe I don't know if I don't think I actually changed anything on this one. The speed Barbon, when you're at +1 you outspeed like Dragapult, Tapu Koko, all those 200 base speed ones. And Moltres is like Moltres plus Eleki as a lead is just so good. You get your screen up, light screen or reflector corresponding to whatever your opponent has out, threatening Moltres. You're living pretty much anything, and then you're at +2. Just sweep. Nasty Pot as well if your opponent's going to take a passive turn. It's just so good. Fire Raft's amazing with the flinch chance, and this is the best bird. This Moltres is just so good. I'm a Moltres fan. Can you tell? Anyway, then I decided to add Amoonguss for some nice redirection. Amoonguss was amazing. I know obviously like Spore and Tapu Fini kind of clash a little bit, but you can play around that. You don't always have to. I don't always have to bring Tapu Fini. I don't always have to Spore. I can still Spore things in the air. I really liked Amoonguss. I like it with the Cobra Berry as well. Tapu Fini, standard set, bulky Calm Mind, setup kind of Fini. I hate Muddy Water. I did have Muddy Water for ages, for probably a week or so, and then, well, not for ages, so obviously like a week or so I said. And then I swapped. I hate that move. It's just not. To me, the accuracy drop chance is just not worth you missing, because it feels like it misses every other flipping turn or every turn near enough. I much prefer Scald. I was considering Dazzling Gleam instead of Moonblast, but nah. I've just enjoyed having Scald Moonblast. Obviously, the burn chance as well is cracking. There's never any danger of missing. That's what's so satisfying. Like, I've seen so many. I've played people who've obviously lost games off Muddy Water misses, and you, the viewer, have probably lost games off Muddy Water misses if you use Muddy Water. Scald, far superior in my book. Landorus, Intimidate, It's kind of a bulky Landorus, as you can see, but still pretty fast, adamant. Good Dynamax user. I still think Landorus is really good. This Assault Vest one was great with Dynamax. It was cracking. The only downside was being obviously intimidated so many times. And yeah, and then finally to round it up, good old Incineroar with a pretty standardish set, bulky, Flare Blitz, Snarl, Parting Shot, Fake Out. That's all good. I said that in a weird order, didn't I? You should just read it down, but nope, I just take it from wherever apparently. Anyway, double Intimidate was nice. I could deal with Glastrier, not too bad with this team. Like I said, I used this team for like 5 weeks probably, until Players Cup 3 was announced. I was like, right, okay, what do I want to use in the Players Cup 3? I was like, I was pretty sure, I was like, okay, this is the team I'll use if I can't come up with anything else. And I thought, right, I might just edit it a little bit, come up with something a little different. Now at the time, where is it? There. At the time, Regirock was becoming popular, and I just couldn't. I was like, okay, Regirock's really good. I saw people running this one with like Drain Punch, Weakness Policy. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I added it, pretty standard, max HP, max attack, but in special defense, because your defense stat is just ridiculous. With Regieleki, I mean, with the screens and Regirock, it just doesn't die. It doesn't die. And if your opponent does a super effective attack, boom, Weakness Policy, and you just run everything. Regirock is amazing. I added Katana, just for offense sake. Because basically, I was thinking about my last Players Cup run, which was an absolute disaster. It went so badly, my last Players Cup run. I think I probably ended up like near enough even, maybe like 15, like 1,520 max. I probably finished. Like I did rubbish. I did absolutely rubbish, and it was because I was using a Lapras team that was very passive and slow, and I thought, right, I need a bit more offense this time. So Katana, I love using Katana. I did miss a Moongus though. Obviously, like redirection's so good. I do miss having a Moongus, but I don't want 2 grass types. It's Katana or a Moongus. Anyway, I went for a more offensive, the more offensive option, but still bulky. Obviously, with the Assault Vest, it's surprisingly bulky, really. Finny same, Incineroar same, and then I added. I've highlighted everything. I added Porygon 2 for some nice bulk. Trick Room Recover, very standard. Then you either go Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, or Shadow Ball, Tri-Attack. I decided to go Shadow Ball, Tri-Attack, Stab, and I do quite like dropping defense. If I have to Dynamax Porygon, which did happen a couple of times in practice, dropping defense or Regirock can do more damage, or dropping speed with Max Strike, obviously off Tri-Attack. And if you get a download boost, Porygon does some serious damage, and it is hard to knock out. Obviously I had to watch it with Urshifu, but Urshifu wasn't like a massive problem, because if I slowed it down with Eleki or got a light screen up, Katana, if I get like an Electro Web off on, or if I chip it even a bit, Katana can deal with it with Aerial Ace. Or max Airstream if I decide to max Katana. Maxing Katana is just ridiculous, especially late game. Or Finny deals with Urshifu, so Porygon was great. And I was going to use this team, but there was a couple of problems. One problem. Well, before I get into this problem, one reason I chose Regirock as well, because at the time, Colossal was around as well, and I was like, with this one, I didn't really have a ton for Colossal. Like, Landorus could be burnt from the terrain, or could just be Intimidate, cycled on, and Max Vocalist does a ton. So Landorus wasn't really, and obviously with Rillaboom as well, just Earthquake, so that wasn't really fixing the. Yeah, as you can see, this team is weak to Colossal. It is weak to Colossal. Like, yeah, Tapu Fini does well against it, but if it's hitting me with Max Overgrowth and it's in the sun, it's just not doing what it needs to do. I could get around it sometimes, but nah. And then the other one was Reggie. So yeah, that was the reason I added Regirock as well, because that does beat Colossal quite handily. And the other reason. And the other thing was, the Regigigas Wheezing. This team doesn't really have, well, The other team didn't have much for that, but I realised Katana was quite a good answer for that. Maybe I'll explain my plan against that in the updated version. So anyway, I kind of like this version, but then I realised, you know, Wolf's Players Cup 2 team, the Colossal team, that was a problem, especially burning Regirock. And another, the main issue I had really with this Regirock, right, was that people expected weakness policy, right, and they were just playing it. People just weren't like super effective attacking into Regirock to avoid the weakness policy. And without the weakness policy, Regirock is not the biggest damage dealer. And I wasn't keen on Max fighting either. I forgot his name. Max Knuckle. Landorus was a bit of an issue for this team. I kept getting beat by Landorus. I remember that. I was like, and there was that Garchomp Clefairy team. I was like, yeah, that keeps beating me. I guess I could have swapped these two for Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, but I'm not the biggest fan of like Trick Room either. And like Regirock is slow, but it's like the spread. I mean, it's not like slow because I'm adamant, so I can get a little bit of speed up maybe. So it wasn't like there was like a Trick Room mode. And yeah, it wasn't just gelling right. So Dusclops was an issue as well. This team I was just getting Dusclops was an absolute pain. And Galastria, there was something wasn't working with this. So went back to the drawing board, and I ended up with this, which is what I used. Life Orb Regirock. Yes, I can't be intimidated. The damage output is there straight away. It does a lot of damage. Ice Punch over Drain Punch, because boom, there's your ground. There's your Landorus answer. But I mean, saying that, Life Orb Regirock is so good. Here's an example. Second to last game I played, I think my opponent led Regieleki, Moltres, and I led Incineroar Regirock, I think. Now I was like, okay, the Moltres will protect, and I thought, right, either the Regieleki stays in, I could get a special defense boost if I max ground, or they swap into something, maybe swap into Landorus. And I thought, should I max ice the Regieleki? I didn't though. I thought, no, I won't. I'll play it safe. I'll max rock. That should knock out the Regieleki, and if there is a switch, it'll do a ton of damage. Right? Max rocked into the Regieleki slot. The Moltres protected, called that right. Regieleki switched into Landorus. Landorus came in and was one shot by Max Rockfall. I was just like, oh. It's really strong and really good. When you're playing like that Colossal team that Wolf had, because the Dragapult has Will-O-Wisp, you have to play it a little bit safe. Like usually turn one, what with that team, let's say they go Dragapult Colossal, let's go with that lead. I'd go Regieleki Regirock, set up a light screen first turn and protect Regirock, because then either they surf and probably KO Regieleki, and if they don't, sound, or just do some damage into Regirock, or they try and Will-O-Wisp Regirock and I've protected and I've got the light screen up for Colossal. Then the next turn, well, if Regieleki's gone down, I'll swap in something else, whatever I brought. If Regieleki's gone down, I'll swap in something else, swap that out and bring Finny in. Or if Regieleki's still around, I'll just instantly swap Finny in, because that next turn, if Colossal's Dynamaxed and Weakness Pulsed, Surfed, Steam Engined up, Dragapult is very likely to go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Regirock slot. So you can pretty much guarantee not being burnt there and do a lot of damage to the Regirock. And then obviously if they want to change terrain, they either have to max Overgrowth, or but by which point if they've maxed Overgrowth that turn, you've already got a max Quake or a max Rockfall, whatever, into the Colossal slot, and it's nearly down anyway, or if not down. It should generally go down if you max Quake into it after the Surf from Dragapult. So yeah, that's a really good way of beating that team. That worked pretty much every time. I played it a few times in the tournament. Yes, Moltres. So good. I really liked... The best thing about that first team I had was the Moltres weakness policy kind of set. And just bringing it back just made so much sense. So good with Regieleki. And generally what I tried to do was either set up at the beginning, set up screens, or bring Incineroar, fake out stuff, you know, Intimidate, Snarl stuff, Point Shot, whatever. Try and get big KOs with maybe Regirock or Moltres, or set up Moltres. And then keep Katana in the back and try and clean up with Katana at the end. Katana's amazing for that. That's what I did most of the time. Obviously that varies. If it's Trick Room, I'd probably lead something like Incineroar, Moltres, try and get a flinch with Fake Out 1 or Intimidate, Snarl, Spam, or try and get a flinch with Fiery Wrath. I did actually flinch a Dusclops with Fiery Wrath on one game. What game was that? But that was quite funny, but I felt a bit bad, but you know, it is what it is. And yeah, it just worked. It's really like, and the other team I was worried about was obviously Regigigas. With that, I'd probably just lead Regieleki, Katana, or yeah, probably that. Probably just set up Reflect and just start Airstreaming and Electro Webbing and just try and, yeah, I'm likely to get burnt by Weezing, but if it burns, it burns. And then just try and finish up with maybe something like Moltres or Regirock. It depends, that one. It's a bit of a plate by ear, that one, but that Katana works pretty well against that, I found. Because if you, like, let's say I've got Katana Regieleki first turn against Weezing Regigigas. If I go Reflect, Airstream, damage output's lessened, we're on even terms if they go Max Strike. If I get burned, the next two turns, I can just Electro Web. The next turn, sorry, I can just Electro Web, lower the speed again, and Knuckle. Then I'm a bit healthier. And then depending on what they do there, if they attack the Katana, I can just Electro Web again and Knuckle again, and then I'm back. Katana's back to even. Grab a KO somewhere, try and KO the Weezing generally, and then you're on pretty alright footing for the rest of the game. So even if your Katana gets burnt, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, they can always miss Will-O-Wisp. They might not even go for Will-O-Wisp. So my other original plan for that was to go Regieleki Incineroar and just Reflect Parting Shot, but that just stopped working because people were just taunting instead of protecting on the first. They just taunted Incineroar expecting it, so that didn't work. I guess the only other team I was really scared of that I think I only played one was like Sun teams with Venusaur. But again, with Venusaur teams, what I tend to do is lead Incineroar Moltres and just Dynamax Moltres because I could pretty much get an Airstream off. If they didn't, well, it stopped. If I was going up against like Torkoal, Venusaur, these are obviously very, very standard leads, but you've got to be kind of prepared for him. Venusaur, Torkoal against Incineroar Moltres. Fake out Venusaur, Airstream Venusaur. If it protects, it takes some damage. If it Dynamaxes, but most of the time they're not running Protect. There's Sleep Powder, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Leaf Storm, or whatever, Grass Move. Okay, sorry, I had a bit of a recording issue there. But, yeah, what was I saying? Right, yeah, so basically, because Venusaur a lot of the time doesn't have Protect, you're basically forcing it to Dynamax. If it doesn't Dynamax, I mean, it can always switch, but if it doesn't Dynamax, you're faking it out and Airstreaming it, and it's gone. It can switch into something, but then they're taking an Airstream, and Moltres can just start doing some serious damage. And if it does Dynamax, a few Airstreams should take it out. Probably Max Guard's probably the best play there, but Eruption's not going to knock out Moltres. It's certainly not going to knock out Incineroar, and you just kind of play around it. But I found that worked best for the Sun teams with this team. I usually bring Finny, probably a Regirock, something like that, obviously depending on what they've got. Just going back to the Colossal matchup, I kind of watched back what I'd said already, and I don't think I made one part clear. So after turn one, this is Dragapult Regirock, Dragapult Colossal versus, my Regieleki Regirock. Turn one, Light Screen Protect. Turn two, if Regieleki's gone down, which most of the time it has, I'd bring in something like Incineroar or Moltres. Something that Colossal is not going to Grass Move into, and then switch Finny into that slot. Because they probably think, well, if they had Finny, they'd bring it in now to stop the burn. Because if they read Finny coming, the only way this goes wrong is if they read Finny switching in that turn and max Grass into it, because then I can get burnt. But if they don't, if I bait a Rock type move into that slot, or a Ground type move into that slot, it means Regirock doesn't get burnt, I can pretty much KO the Colossal. And even if I do get burnt, to be honest, it's probably like a 2-hit KO, and I get the special defense boost on whatever's in. So it's not the end of the world getting burnt, but I can like bait in the rock type move instead of having the grassy terrain go up. That's what I was trying to say. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of it's really hard to explain sometimes, but anyway, yeah. So let's get on to my actual run. So like I said, after the last Players Cup, I did so badly. I was like, right, okay. I'm sorry, got interrupted again. Anyway, I just went into it to have fun. Thought, I'll just do my best, see how it goes. I came with a little rule for myself as well. I was like, right, if I lose 2 in a row, just stop playing. Because it always goes south. When you start to tilt, that's like... Anyway, nightmare. So, first day I went 9-2. 2 games I lost, came down just making a call on both ones, and I've just made it wrong. It could have gone either way, really. They're different. So that was fine. I was happy with that. Day 2, I went 5-2, and I finished the day on 1650. I was probably ranked like 300 something. I thought, right, maybe that's enough. I thought what I'll do is wait till tomorrow, see how much my rating drops. My ranking drops, sorry, not my rating, and see how I do. And anyway, the next day, I think I was on about 700. I was 700 and something. I can't remember. But I was like, right, well, that's not enough to qualify. So I'll play some more games. I thought I'll start early. I'll play a few games. If it starts going south, I've got the rest of the night to carry on. And if it goes well, I've cracked it. I wanted to aim for about 1670-ish. So I was like, right, I probably need to win a couple of games to kind of not guarantee it, but pretty much guarantee it, I guess. Anyway, I played 2 games, won them both. I was like, right, leaving it. Finished on 1680, 16-4 win-loss ratio, so I was dead chuffed with that. Yeah, just not being that... Like, being in the mindset where I was just, like, not that bothered and just enjoying it and having fun. I had so much fun playing it. That's one of the most fun I've had playing Pokemon for ages. And I have never enjoyed an IC before, ever. I always hate them, but I enjoyed it. Just because I wasn't bothered about the result. I was just like... I'm just having fun, and the team felt good. I was in a good mood. Everything just felt right. So hopefully that's enough to qualify. Probably should be, really. I'm dead chuffed with that. Excuse me. And yes, I hope I've explained this team, the reason for that. I know I've not really gone into the spreads much. A lot of it's kind of bulk. And to be honest, a lot of it I can't even remember. I can't even remember if I probably did EV some things for specifics. I know I definitely took a few off some other popular teams and changed them slightly. But yeah, dead chuffed with this team. Probably one of my favourite teams I've ever built. It was just great. Honestly, it was just so much fun. So give it a try. If you do give it a try, actually, I'll make a Pokeplace for it. If you do give it a try, let me know. I'm not going to bother doing a QR code. We're past that. I'm not going to bother doing a rental team because it's near the end of the season, and well, unless there's a few people want it, I might do it then. But if not, just give it a whirl and show down if you fancy. Let me know how it goes. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, future channel. I'm not going to pretend, and I'm not going to promise I have time to do more videos because I don't. But I will try and do odd videos here and there for the rest. Well, in the upcoming months, I guess I'll keep you informed on doing the Players Cup if I continue. Maybe I could film some of those the next round ones. Maybe I'll see. But hopefully, towards the middle end of the year, I'm looking at moving, getting my own place, and when I do and get settled, etc., get into a bit of a routine, I'm going to try and look at streaming. Something I've always wanted to do. I want to start streaming, and then we can maybe get back into the YouTube video game as well. So hopefully that's going to come together before the end of the year. I will, like I say, I'll try and do odd videos here and there if I can, when I get time. But yeah, I'm going to try and get streaming done towards the end of the year. Fingers crossed. So yes, that's it, I think. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope it's somewhat made sense. But yeah, give this team a try. It's honestly good, and I'm excited to see what the new format is in a few weeks' time. I'm pretty sure they're changing the rules at the end of January. It was the end of January, right? Not the end of February. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all in a bit.